Hello and welcome to Heavy Metal Rex. My name is Waze, and today not just today, last couple of days, I've been seeing this article being passed around and YouTubers making videos on this, and I gotta say, I'm a little irritated because, we already got the TR come out this year, and that's a much nicer WRX, and look, when the Lavorg was in Japan, it hurt, but I was not super upset, right? When the Lavorg when they had like the TS WRX Sport Wagon come out in Japan for the 22, I was like, okay, it sucks that we're not gonna get it, but it was automatic, so I was like, all right, I'm not super hurt. Then they said it was gonna be in Australia, but also automatic, and I was still a little bit hurt, but I was like, okay, it's still automatic, fine, whatever. Now, North America is finally going to get another WRX hatch based on the new model, based off what we already have in Australia and Japan, except I cannot even believe that I'm saying this. It is going to be a manual. Just let that marinate, because that is really, 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 really irritating, because people have been wanting a wagon in America, again, for some time. The last time we had a wagon was the 08 to 14 STIs and WRXs, and in America, we have just not got another wagon. Now, to be fair, most of the other cars that Subaru sells here in America are wagons of some kind, so I can kind of understand why they didn't bring it, but I don't care. I really don't care that those wagons exist, because this car looks really good. And I know what was really interesting about the Sport Wagon when it came out in Japan and came out in Australia was the front bumper is different, the back bumper is different, the wheel arches are different. Even though the shape is still there, you can see where it's not completely rounded, it is like kind of edged up. I mean, the front bumper looks really, really cool. That's a nice looking bumper. And as much as I love the honeycomb on the side, I can forgive it for not being there because it's a wagon. And again, it's all color match. I don't know what's happening anymore at Subaru. I really don't know, because there is a demand in America for a wagon. I would most definitely get one of these just because of the practicality. For me, that right there, that's awesome. I put a lot of crap in my trunk. And this would actually be really helpful for road trips as well, because then I don't have to take like my wife's SUV. I mean, it's such a good looking car. I don't know why. I don't know why Mexico is getting a manual sport. Like, I don't even understand. I guess maybe I just don't understand the vehicle market in Mexico. Well, I mean, actually, that's a fact. I don't really understand, because if I did, I would know why the hell Mexico is getting one. So right now, I went to Mexico's a Subaru Mexico website. They don't actually have it on there right now, but they have it as pre-order. But what's even more interesting is they say be one of the only owners of this special version. Does that mean that it's limited and it's only going to be here for so long, or they're only going to sell so many? I can't find any other information on that. The original article that I read was on Motor One, and it's the same article that's been like copy pasted on all these different websites. It doesn't say anything about it being limited. It just says, Mexico's getting it. That's it. Here it is. Here's what you can buy it. It's got all of the same other goodies that the other WRXs have. Mine's, of course, the stuff that's coming on the TR. So this would be like, basically, it seems like it's a limited trim, but with a wagon instead of just a regular truck. Nothing else at least on any of these articles, showcase that it is a limited production. But here on this is actually the Subaru Mexico website for the pre-order, and look, it says right there, special version. But I'm not really sure what that means. Now, I have never been inside any of these, and I haven't really seen a whole lot of people post pictures of the insides of their sport wagons. And obviously, one of the fun parts about the wagon is obviously the space interior. So what's really cool is this is Subaru Australia. They have like this 360 interior view that you can like kind of mess around with, and you can actually push the buttons to push the seats down, which is kind of cool. So this is what it looks like on the inside with the seats up in the back. And this is what it looks like on the inside with the seats down. Dude, oh my God, why are we not getting this? Like, I'm not gonna lie, I am a little upset about this. Like when the TR came out, I looked at it and I was like, okay, it's all right. You know, I can get a brake kit later on. It's no big deal. I can get like wireless Android Auto, maybe find those panels on eBay or like rec shops and replace it. Okay, I can make these concessions, right? Obviously, the structural integrity part, the rigidity that they're adding to the TR and the 2024 WRXs, which I assume is going to be in the wagon as well. I don't get that, but you know, we'll just have to live with that. But the fact that this is not something that I can make, I can't cut my WRX and turn it into a sport wagon. So the fact that this exists so close to home, and even closer because my family lives in Houston, so there's actually a pretty strong chance that I might see some of these drive over the border somewhere in Texas. And man, if I see one of these, I'm going to be really upset because I said to myself, when the 22 WRX came out, I'm happy with it. I wouldn't trade for any other trim that comes out until an actual STI comes out. But I did say that if America got a wagon, I would sell my car and get the wagon version. And here it is. It is so close and yet so far. This is a frustrating thing for people who already own WRXs and live in America. Now, if you do have the ability to go across the border and maybe I don't know, I guess you can't really bring it over. This is a really interesting question because I know that there's like import laws, but technically this is like the North America market, and I don't know how that works because, like for example, Canada. Can you go to Canada and bring a car from Canada to America and register it here? Maybe somebody can bring this over. I would imagine that this is going to be showcased somewhere. Like, I do have a couple of contacts at Subaru. I'm going to ask them if maybe we're going to get to see one of these at any of the Subi Fests at some time, since technically it's a special kind of car. And I do know that sometimes they do bring the Japanese cars or the European cars, even if it's just for a showcase at the show. So could be a possibility we might be able to at least get to see this car, or maybe it'll show up at some auto show somewhere here in America. So at least I can get my eyes on it, get my hands on it, be able to sit inside and just cry into the seat and the fact that we don't get it. Everything else about the car is exactly the same. Obviously, they didn't make any changes to the power. You got the same turbo. You have the same 6-speed transmission. You have the same suspension as the Limited. This I thought was really interesting. I was actually looking at this picture. This grille that's on the Levorg in Japan is different than the grille that is in. Let me see if I can get a exterior of the. Yeah. So this grille. Oh my goodness! Come on. This picture right here. This grille right here is the same one that comes on the Sport Wagon. But what's interesting is this Levorg. Let me see if I can find a picture of this of the front. It's hard because like the Japanese website. Google isn't translating everything on the Japanese website, so I'm actually having a little bit of trouble figuring out what I want to click on. But just judging off this main picture that they have right here, it looks like a different grill. It looks like almost like Outback grill, but I don't know if the Outback grill looks like it, but it is different. But if I go look at the one that they are dropping in Mexico, I don't believe that it is different. No, it's hard to say. That picture is really small. Now, the picture that they have here, I don't know if this is the actual one that's going to be released, but even this grill, that is different. That is different than the OEM grill that we have right now. So it's a possibility that we might be able to, that this is the one that might be coming to Japan. That is actually a pretty nice grill. And of course, I'm trying really hard not to look at the rest of the bumper, but this is really interesting news. Look, I'm happy for Mexico. Congratulations, you guys got a manual hatch, and we don't. But again, I'm going to look into that. I'm curious to see if it's possible to bring this car to America, because if it is, yeah. But then, you know what? Then I don't know if we'll get COB support for it. That's, I guess, the other thing is because I know right now the TR does not have support as of yet, but I think it's coming. I don't know how that would work because I don't know. I actually don't know if COB is supported in Japan and Australia. It's actually never crossed my mind to go and look to see if that was a thing, because that might be a thing for the Mexico car as well. But as time goes on, we'll see. I look forward to all of the YouTubers down in Mexico getting their hands on this car and kind of telling us if it's as nice as we all believe that it is. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you in the next one.